My first toe story involves my mom, and it's one of my earliest memories. We're all sitting down to dinner, and she ran back to the fridge to get some salad dressing. And back then, it was like everything came in a giant, heavy glass bottle. And as she walked into the doorway to the dining room, she dropped this giant glass bottle of Dorothy Lynch salad dressing, if you're a Midwesterner, on her foot. And it splattered everywhere, and it took a giant chunk out of her toe, like the glass. And it was very traumatic. I was like 3 or 4 years old, and just seeing your mother get hurt and blood everywhere. I still think of it. She's fascinated that I know that I still remember it so strongly. The other toe story is also my mom, but we're fast forwarding to 1994 when America was embroiled in the O.J. Simpson trial. And my mom, once again, cut her toe. I don't even remember how, but it was upstairs in the master bedroom at this house that had white carpet everywhere. It was in Okemos, Michigan, for our Michigan viewer. um, and she called for help, and I came upstairs, and there was like blood everywhere, all over this white carpet. And that's when my mom decided that O.J. Simpson definitely did it. Because if you remember at the time, the whole point, like there was blood, they had all this blood evidence for OJ, but he only had two little cuts on his hand. And the defense was like, we can't have all this blood from two little cuts. But my mom decided if she had all that blood from one little cut on her toe, then it was definitely possible. So that's how OJ did it. So yeah, another weird bloody toe story. Finally, third bloody toe story was here in York at Rockfish, the restaurant. And I was out with a couple of friends for dinner. And my friend Abby is really committed to like the flip flop lifestyle. She'll wear them year round if she could. And always, unless except she doesn't like being that cold. So she has her new pair of flip flops. We have a lovely dinner. My friend Liz, who was also there, turns out she like went to high school with the manager who was working that night. And just as we're getting ready to leave, Abby stands up and something happens, and they have these metal chairs, and she cut the bottom of her big toe on the back of the metal chair. But Abby, being a flip flop enthusiast, was worried about her new flip flops. She takes the bloody flip flop. I mean, I looked down and there was blood all over the floor. I thought she just maybe scraped it or something. No, it was like a mess. But she hands me the bloody flip flop and says, hurry up and wash this off. Like, I don't want it to stain. So I nonchalantly like walk through the entire restaurant to the back to the bathroom, like carrying a bloody flip flop. And then I'm like rinsing it under the sink, and like a woman comes out of the stall, and I'm just like, oh, nothing here, just blood everywhere. And but I get her back, and by then, like they've got her toe wrapped up in a towel, and she's hobbling out of the middle of the restaurant. It was a real scene, and I had to bring the car around so that we could get her out. And by the time I come back from the bathroom, I think they'd realized that this was going to be a stitches situation. So instead of going to meet my friend for a beer, we all hopped in the car and went to urgent care, and she got a couple of stitches on her big toe.